Hi, hello, how are you? And welcome back to another video. You're probably thinking, this isn't The Sims 4, and you're right, because this is The Sims Mobile. And I know it came out not like quite a bit, but a little bit ago, but I wanted to make sure I'd played the game enough to give you like a solid opinion before I made a video about it, because like, hey, here I am, level 1, and I know nothing, but let me like complain or something. So I did get to level 10. Actually, it's 11 in the video, but I made sure to get to level 10 before I recorded this, and I also made sure to play for a little over a week. I don't know, something like that. I don't remember. It's been a bit. But first of all, introductions. My two Sims are May and I love my other Sim's name, but I can never remember it because I always laugh because the main Sim you're seeing right here, the redhead, her name is May be Simming. So it's kind of another pun. You know, like I may be simming. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. But and then her other Sim, who is like her best friend / roommate. Oh, her name's Delilah. Delilah something. I don't know her last name because it's just randomly generated. But Delilah, you don't really need their personalities or anything. If we want to talk about them, we'll talk about them later. But first things first, let's just talk about my kind of view of the game as a whole. Things I like. It loads really fast, and I have played The Sims Free Play rather extensively. I don't play it a lot anymore because it's just too. You actually have to commit to The Sims Free Play, because everything is like real time. So if your Sims go to sleep, it takes 8 hours. Like you have to commit. You have to have a schedule to keep up with that game. And the events are a lot of work, and I just don't have time for that. So I do appreciate that this game is fast loading and that it's not real time. So that feels more like The Sims to me, whereas like, The Sims on a computer or on console, an hour is a minute versus in The Sims Free Play, an hour is an hour. So I like that they kept that because for a mobile thing, which I'm not a huge like mobile gamer, I guess. So I'm not spending a lot of time playing games on my phone. And so like I said, like something like The Sims Free Play, I just usually don't have time for. And it really requires a schedule. So that's cool. I also like the animation style, the art style of the game. I think it's pretty cool. It's very smooth, whereas I'm not the hugest fan of. I'm going to keep comparing it to The Sims Free to Play because until now, that was the only mobile version of The Sims we had, really. And but I'll drag in some things from Sims 4 because overall I prefer The Sims 4. But graphically, I like it a lot better than The Sims Free Play. There's not too much going on. Oh my gosh, just because of where we're at in the video. My favorite thing in the game, I think, thus far, is relationship stories. The relationship stories are so cool because I don't know, because when I play The Sims, I like to imagine the relationship that builds around the actions I make my Sims do beyond just like I'm making them argue or I'm making them like compliment each other or something. And that's kind of what this does like for you. And then they have like little conversations. And I think it's cool. It's like, oh, hey, you like music? I like music. And it's like they actually develop the kind of the relationship you would picture for them. And it also is, I think, like an achievement to complete the relationship stories and stuff, which is cool. But then okay, let's just get into some pet peeves because then I'll think of things I like on the way. I'm not the hugest fan of the lack of like kind of a queuing system because like I said before, this is a fast-paced interaction type thing. So like you tell a Sim to do something, it takes like 10 seconds kind of thing. And like individual interactions, the actual like events obviously take half hour, a couple hours, whatever, but like the interactions within the events and like your basic things take a few seconds. But you can only click them one at a time. And then if you try to click another thing, it's like, oh, hey, I'm doing this thing. And so you literally, if you want to do one thing, you sit, wait 10 seconds. And I know 10 seconds is such a minimal amount of time, but it's kind of like it makes the game feel slower than it actually is. So I'm not the hugest fan of that. I'm also not the biggest fan of the kind of like there's a leveling system, but I think the leveling system holds you back so much. I almost didn't make it to level 10. I almost didn't make this video because the leveling, like, because I wasn't playing like, oh, I'm like diving in. I was playing like what I would if I was just playing for myself, like semi, like casual play, like maybe like opening the game once or twice a day and like something like that. Speaking of diversion, real quick, the little notifications that the game sends you are so cute. It's like, hey, your Sims miss you, or like it'll just send you a random compliment like pushed to your phone. It's cute. But anyway, so what was I talking about? The leveling. And so it's like when you jump into The Sims, whether it be free play or The Sims 4 or whatever, you can automatically pretty much do anything in the game. Like, you know what I mean? You could do your hobbies, you can do all the skills and everything. But this, you don't even get the first hobby until, and it's the cooking hobby until level 8, I think. And then only one sim can do each hobby slash career slash whatever. So May is a barista, but Delilah can't also be a barista. And so like I feel limited because like what if like, because like I said, I like to invent the Sims kind of backstory. And so what if I like my backstory for Delilah and May was like they're two best friends that met working together at a coffee shop kind of thing. They can't both work at the coffee shop, and they also can't have the same interests because they can't do the same hobby. So since May has the cooking hobby, Delilah can't have that hobby. And then later, if I have like obviously your fan likes fans and stuff, when I have another sim and say they have the music hobby, no one else can have the music hobby. I'm not the hugest fan of that dynamic because like I guess it forces you to make more individual Sims, but it also limits you in combining different interests and careers with different Sims, if that makes sense. So I don't know how I feel about that. Another thing, since we're in kind of the apparel area right now, I like the clothes because a lot of them are Sims 4 clothes, which is super cool. I don't know if I like that you have to buy the clothes. I don't mind having to unlock different clothes, but having to buy them just to change your outfit is a little limiting to me, especially because another thing, I have the worst time getting money in this game. And it's not necessarily because a lot of things in the game are expensive to do. It's just that accumulating money over time takes a lot of time. And for someone like me who maybe like I'll get on and play for maybe a half hour at a time, and that's a lot. I think for like a mobile game that's just like something to just do. It's like especially if you're playing casually. Okay, and like say, okay, if you play a little more at most, if you're opening the game multiple times a day, maybe it accumulates to like an hour or two. So in a given day, I'll complete probably the to-do list and a quest maybe, and do like, and in doing the to-do list, you do a couple of career things and a couple of relationship things. So those level up too. But the money it gives you is so small that like, if you want to renovate your house, if you get money from one thing, by the time you're done with that, the money's gone. So, I mean, you can see on screen right now, I only have 154 simoleons, and it's just like, well, and also a lot of the stuff in the game costs, I don't know what they call them, but the actual money, the like dollar bills that you have to buy, a lot of things in the game cost that, like basic furniture type stuff. Like I'll constantly go and I'll be like, okay, I'll buy this thing, and it's just like, oh no, that costs 75 of those dollars, and I'm like, why? Because they're not like even super exciting things, they're just like normal things. So I don't know how I feel about that. I like that you can edit the community spaces like the coffee shop and the fashion studio and that kind of stuff, but I don't like that it's your Sims money going into it because, again, it's already hard enough to accumulate money, at least for me. I mean, if you have your, if you've played The Sims Mobile and you have your opinions or your like tips and tricks and that kind of stuff, definitely comment them below because this is just my opinion. So if you feel differently, let me know. I am just sharing my opinion. But because like your sim doesn't own the business, so it's not like in The Sims 4, if you own a business, then the money you put into the business, you then spend on it. But if I just wanted to edit a community lot to look better, it obviously doesn't cost my sim anything, you know? And then back to the fashion thing, just a little return. Izzy's fat, I think his name is Izzy. Izzy's adorable. Love Izzy. I love his funny little trailer with his hairdo on it. Great. What I don't love is how hard it is to get those little points or whatever to get new clothes from Izzy. because you don't get that many at a time. You get some in the to-do list every day, but it's 20 of those points per clothing item. And then you don't necessarily get a good clothing item and whatnot. So I don't really like that system either. I barely use it because I can't be bothered to try to accumulate the things just to get one piece of clothing, when if I put in less effort ish getting the regular simoleons, then I can buy clothes from the, like, what's this game's version of Create a Sim. You know, I don't know. Also, I don't like that you have to earn rooms. Just like comparing this to the Sims free play, you can build whatever you want to build as long, like for your house and expand, as long as you can afford it. In this, you have to earn the right to have another room. And just because of the way the game progresses, it gets awkward really fast. Like you're, for instance, like you start with a sim, and then after you progress a couple of levels or whatever, then it's like, hey, create a new sim so it can teach you how. But at that point, you haven't, I don't think, or at least I hadn't earned another room. So then I had 2 sims and 1 bedroom. And like you don't really need the bedrooms as much because you can only sleep like once every so many hours, like 8 hours or something, and it's just an energy boost. But still, like, The Sims is a simulation game and you're simulating people, and so it's not like you have a house with 1 bedroom and a twin bed, because the double beds aren't unlocked. I still don't know if I have access to double beds that I don't have to pay real money for. I don't know. And so that bothered me. And there was something else that I don't remember now. Oh gosh, it's just like I do like this game, but I don't think that this game is I don't think it's a game that can hold my attention for a long time, because like I said, sometimes it slows itself down, sometimes the pacing's weird with the levels, like things that you unlock. I understand having a leveling system. I don't mind the leveling system, and I don't mind unlocking things, but I think that the pacing of unlocking things is a little weird, especially since like the hobbies, you unlock each hobby at a different level. It's not like you unlock all the hobbies at level 8. You unlock the cooking hobby at level 8, and I think music was level, I don't know if it was 10 or 11 or whatever, but and then you unlock more. I don't really like that, because then once I unlocked the cooking hobby, I had 1 sim that had a hobby and then another sim that couldn't do that. It just, I feel like I'm getting tiny pieces of the game experience, but first I have to put in a lot of effort to get a tiny piece, and I don't like that. The events, because the spa hot tub thing event just finished. The events are fairly simple, I noticed, as I played through it. I did not complete the event technically. I did complete the quest line. The quest line wasn't hard at all. It was 9 parts. It was simple little tasks, things like that. And I don't remember how long the event lasted, but it was a decent amount of time. And if I had played a little more aggressively, I guess I would have been able to maybe complete the event. But the thing is even if you complete the event quest line, you don't necessarily complete the collection. So I did get the hot tub, but you could see it on the side of my house, or you probably saw it on the side of my house earlier. But I didn't get everything in the collection because there were swimsuits, there was patio furniture, there was a bunch of stuff. Because for whatever reason, completing the quest doesn't like complete the event for you. Completing the quest is just like milestones that you do for pretty much no reason to get whatever token they assign to the event. So for this, it was like little rubber ducks, and you had to collect ducks, and for 50 rubber ducks, you got a goodie bag. You open the goodie bag, and it randomly gave you one of the event items. So I don't understand why there wasn't just like, hey, do these things to collect ducks, and or not and or, because it was an and or complete the quest line and complete the event. Because I did complete the quest line, but I didn't complete it. Completing the quest line didn't give me enough ducks to get enough bags to complete the event. So that was a little weird to me. I don't know. This is a really cool game if you want to play The Sims for free, and then kind of like a, I don't know, like a small, it's not as expansive, obviously, as a computer game. I don't really think it's as expansive as The Sims free play either. It looks better, but it's not as expansive. The furniture breaks a lot. That's like a nitpicky little thing for me, but it's so annoying because the furniture breaks a lot and then you have to pay to fix it. I don't know why it breaks so often, but I'll play for like a half hour and I have to fix my furniture like 12 times. I don't know what the deal with that is, but it is a new game. So I'm like approaching this with kind of like optimism that over time it'll get better as they get feedback and whatnot. Because it does look good and it functions super well. It's just, I don't know if I have the most fun playing it. But anyway, I just want to kind of give you guys my opinions, and the video is about to come to an end, so I'm going to let you go. Let me know what you think of The Sims Mobile if you've played it down below. But anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.